Hey friends, it's Amber from a Meeple family, and today I'm taking you along with me to my very first Origins game fair. Before we jump in, be sure to hit the subscribe button. So here's how our trip started. I packed up with my two brothers and we hit the road Wednesday afternoon. If you're not familiar, this convention runs from Wednesday to Sunday. When we arrived in the area, we used an app and found some garage parking for about $13. Not bad, though it was a little bit of a walk. We later discovered there were many closer options that were actually more affordable, but honestly, the walk wasn't bad and gave us a great first look at downtown Columbus and the surrounding area of the convention center. So registration was our first stop, which ironically was on the opposite side of the building from where we entered, but every wrong turn just helped us get more familiar with the layout. Honestly, the registration process was fantastic. Prior to the convention, you get emailed your QR code. There was no line or anything when we walked up to registration, so they scanned our QR code and then they printed out both our badge and any events we registered for. Then you go to a separate area and pick up your lanyard, maps, and a coupon book, which I didn't really use, but it is a great marketing opportunity for the vendors and publishers that were there. So overall, registration was wide open, smooth, and really well run. On Wednesday, the only main thing that was open was Hall C. So unless you had events scheduled, that was where you needed to go. And let me tell you, events filled up really fast. I wish I had been able to sign up for more ahead of time, but it was still fun to walk through and even a little more relaxing without too many events on our schedule. We saw tons of Lorcana cards being sold, All Play had a big demo space, and way in the back was the gaming library, as well as I finally had the opportunity to meet Berkey from GameToppers, who by Wednesday afternoon had already sold out of half their inventory. Honestly, it's a great product, so I'm not really surprised. We stayed for several hours and ended up heading back to our hotel that night, but not before playing a game I don't get to pull out often, which is Ark Nova with the Marine expansion. It was such a fun 3-player game, and thanks to my petting zoo strong start, with the income boost I received, I had my first official win of the game and was pumped to start off the convention with a board game win under my belt. So fast forward to day 2, our hotel served breakfast, which was a huge bonus the next morning, and Thursday was the big day, the exhibit hall opening. We were able to try Merchants of the Dark Road, which was fantastic, and 2 new capstone titles, Galileo and Raising Chicago. I loved Galileo. Raising Chicago wasn't really my thing, but I appreciated getting to try it without the pressure of buying first. There were things I liked about it, but the gameplay just didn't offer as much as I was hoping, and I'm really not sure if it even has a solo mode, which is primarily what I navigate like buying games for now, is like, can I play it by myself? Galileo, on the other hand, had a wonderful flow decision space that was simple in turns, but really complex in deciding how to like utilize the resources or the dice that you had. It was absolutely beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous game. I will probably pick this up at some point because I really enjoyed it. So we wandered through the exhibit hall and then stopped by River Valley Glasswork for a quick teach and play. I still hadn't been able to learn this one, so I was really excited to get to have someone teach this to me and get to play it a couple times. We loved this lightweight game and overall just enjoyed taking it slow. In addition, my brothers got a chance to say hey to Tom Vassell, which was definitely on their bucket list, so that was a really exciting moment as well. The next morning kicked off with a 3-hour game session of Great Western Trail. We were all excited to learn this one, but didn't get to finish the game, but had a good understanding of how to play finally, because if you haven't followed me, I have the New Zealand one and it really kicked our butts when we tried to learn it. Later that day, we ran into an amazing friend, and you know what? We got out Ark Nova again and jumped into a 4-player game, which, not trying to brag here, but I won again. And I promise you, I'm not always that lucky. We also got to demo a bunch of new Asmodee releases, and then circled back to the gaming library to take our hand at Great Western Trail yet again, because we never actually got to finish the game, and that was kind of frustrating, so we decided to play from start to finish since we now knew the rules thanks to our teach and play. The ability to walk around and be taught games on the spot was absolutely my favorite part of the entire convention. I'm sure you can relate because most of us in the hobby are the teachers. We're the ones reading the rule books, setting up the tables, explaining iconography, and answering all the questions. Can I do this? Can I go there? What does this mean? So being able to walk up, sit down, and have someone teach you a game, that was such a breath of fresh air. That alone made this convention totally worth it for me. I will say, in my opinion, Origins is not the place to buy games. While there are definitely things for sale, prices are often better outside the convention, and deals can be hit or miss. But if your goal is to play, learn, and explore, Origins definitely delivers. Compared to Gen Con, Origins felt easier. The crowds were manageable, the variety of publishers was still strong, and the city itself was welcoming. The exhibit hall is smaller than Gen Con's, but that also meant I wasn't constantly overwhelmed by huge crowds. Another really fun thing I took part in Saturday morning before we headed home was a virtual game trade that was set up through Board Game Geek ahead of time. I sold and purchased games, and the way that they had this organized was this really huge open space. Everyone was identified by holding their own sign with their Board Game Geek username. So you knew who you were selling games to or buying games from based on the Board Game Geek username profile that you had been chatting with leading up to the con. Everyone tried their best to put themselves in some type of alphabetical order, or at least in the general vicinity. Since this was my first time, I never ever would have dreamed that I would be able to pick up all the games and sell my games within 35 to 40 minutes, but I did it and it was incredible. Of course, my brothers jumped in to help me at the end, and that really sped things up. It was so fun to interact with everyone up there who was so excited to not only be selling their games, but picking up new games. And I love seeing the organized chaos of it all. It just worked, it flowed, and it was honestly quite fascinating. I would definitely recommend that if you're looking to either offload your games, waiting for a convention, to do something like this. I will definitely have a video later showing you the games I sold as well as the games I picked up, which I am super excited about because many of them have solo modes and they are older titles that I just couldn't get a hold of, or I just got a really good deal on just going ahead and buying used. So would I go back to Origins? Absolutely. I got to play more games than I ever have at a convention. This convention, the city it was located in, as well as the convention center itself, were all fabulous. I have no complaints there. So things we are planning to do a little bit better next year, now that we're a little bit more familiar, I would definitely plan on bringing your own food. There were a lot of times that our schedule got so tight between gaming sessions that it was actually really difficult to carve out time to eat. Having water and food on you, like by carrying a backpack, would be essential in my opinion. I also have some dietary restrictions, so that made it a little bit more complicated for me. I know a lot of other people were getting food delivered to the convention center, which would be a great option as well. Another option I would consider is definitely finding a hotel that is either a little further from the convention center that offers a free breakfast, and then driving in and paying parking so you can be conveniently close to the convention center. I'm definitely not an expert here, but those were definitely some sticking points for us, which was food and parking and really the logistics of that. We really preferred driving and being close to the convention center, mostly because I was picking up used games throughout the convention, so I was exchanging games with people, and it was nice to run those out to the vehicle so I didn't have to lug them around the convention or exhibit hall. So I guess it kind of depends on what you're doing, and if you're getting or exchanging games or purchasing games, it's nice to be very close in proximity for parking so you can run those out to your vehicle. There are hotels that are attached to the convention center, similar to Gen Con if you've been there, but they were just a little bit more pricey than we wanted to spend. But those are really nice, obviously, because you can just walk back to your room if you need a break, which would be amazing. So if you're thinking about going to Origins next year, I hope this helps give you a feel for it. And hey, if you like hanging out with me today, hit the like button and subscribe for more cozy board game content coming your way. As always, I know you could spend your time a lot of places, and I love that you took a few moments to hang out here with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.